Hi guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to share this very special journal. This was a design team project for Stephanie at My Porch Prints. She has the most beautiful kits, and I said that in my last design team project for her, but honestly guys, if you haven't checked her out yet, you need to, because everything she has in her shop is just gorgeous. I will link everything in the description box below so you can get to the exact items that I used. I will also link her other social media sites, including her YouTube channel. But this is my first altered book, first of all. So I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. But it is a fairy tale theme, if you haven't already gathered that. I used 5 different kits, but kind of bits and parts and pieces from those 5 kits. The first one is her fairy tale journal kit. That is where I took all of the background pages from that particular kit, and I used a lot of the ephemera pieces as well. And then I also used more of the ephemera pieces from her fairy tale forest journal kit. And then I made the little mini book out of her fairy tale mini book kit, which I love her mini books. They are just absolutely adorable and so cute and easy to put together. And then I also used one of the book plates from her printable book plates kit. That she has like a bunch of them in a kit, and then there's large ones and then there's smaller versions of the same ones. So those are a lot of fun. And then I used some of the words from her journal words kit. It's like, this one is one right here. So it looks like it's on a parchment background. So I used some of those as well. And yeah, guys, I absolutely loved making this, and I love how it turned out. And as you can see, it is quite, it's quite chunky, because when do I ever do anything that isn't? We started out with a book with a spine this wide, and I mean, come on, I knew that it was gonna get out of hand quickly. And it did. I tried, I really did, and I took 8 pages out of this book for every 2 I left in. So I thought, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to fill this up. I did. So I have included some sari silk here as a closure. It's not attached in any way. It can just be taken off and sat to the side. But I'm trying to decide where I want to start. I think we're going to start with the tassel. So I'm going to stand this up so I can kind of show you how the tassel is attached here, and then I'll take it off and we'll go through it. But oh, this is just such happiness in here. I had this black sheer ribbon, and it had apparently been on the spool for a while or something, because when I took it off, it was curled. Guys, I didn't do this. It came off the spool like this. I need to figure out how to make all my ribbon do this, because how cute is that? Those little black curly cues. I'm in love with that. So I just wanted to show you real quick how I have it attached. There's a binder clip here. I think it's like a 1.5 inch maybe, I'm not really sure, but it's kind of an aged bronze color. And then that is just attached to a jump ring in the same color, which goes through the spine of the book. And so that whole thing comes off just like that. I'm gonna just sit the book down over here out of the way, and we'll go through this first. Also, the little mini book can be taken right off of the binder clip if you don't want to, or the binder ring, if you don't want it hanging from your journal. We'll go through that as well in a second. So this might be kind of a long little flip through, but oh my gosh, guys, yeah, I'm in love. I love it so much. So, okay, what I did was, well, obviously I used a lot of ribbon and vintage lace and eyelash trim, all the fun stuff, these this pearl trim in a gorgeous pink color, and it's all pinks and grays and black and white, you know, in here, because that was kind of the color scheme I chose throughout the whole book. So we've got some little beads in here that have like a leaf motif on them. Really pretty. I love those. I think there are at least 2, maybe 3. Here's one. They're just, you know, I love tassels because you can find all kinds of stuff. Here's a little bead dangle that I made in my video that I made to help out Dee Dee with the crocodile. So if you watch that, it might look familiar, just a tiny little bead dangle. This is one of the envelopes from Stephanie's kit. I can't remember for sure which kit this was in. It was either the fairy tale kit or the fairy tale forest kit. But what I did was I just glued it shut, so it's not functional anymore. Added a little faux diamond bling on here. Added a piece of like this turquoisey sheer ruffle stuff to the back. And then I attached I learned what these are called. I learned about these in general from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah, but these are jewelry bails. And I just glued that onto the back to make it like a little charm. So that's hanging on there. And then this was a charm of sorts that I found at Hobby Lobby. And it says, "Who says life isn't a fairy tale?" Right? So true. And it has these really pretty wings on there. I just loved that. So I hung that from there. And now I'm trying to think what else is on here. Oh, this idea came from Tina as well at Shabby Dabby Doodah. She made some of these she used puzzle pieces, but I didn't have puzzle pieces large enough. So I just used some like cereal box, I think is actually what I used. But these are images from the mini fairy tale book. This was like a page from that, and I just cut them apart, and you'll see these throughout the journal. And then I just added glossy accents on there. Let's see if we can get it to shine. So it's just covered in glossy accents, and then I added, while it was still wet, I just added these little sequins on there, and then you have a little hanging charm. Oh, another jewelry bail on the back. So it just hangs nicely in the tassel. So yeah, just gorgeous, luscious little tassel there. And I am so thrilled with these little curly cues, and I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it just turned out perfectly. So that is the tassel. I'm gonna sit that aside, and we'll go through the itty bitty little fairy tale book. And I'm gonna have to hold it up because I don't wanna zoom in and then have to zoom back out. But I added an eyelet on the back and a garment pin so it can hang. But like I said, you can either leave it on the tassel or you can take it off. I made a closure with some twine, and I added a little, whoops, a little bitty key charm to the end, and that is just held on with a brad. So this kit comes with 3 different cover option, or 4 different cover options, I'm sorry. And then the inside pages, which are, you know, they're all the same, but there's also a page of like blank journal pages with, you know, lined pages. So you could actually put those in here if you wanted to make this, you know, more of a journal to write in. I didn't do that. I just used the fairy tale pages. So you'll see that when we open it up here. So I used some duck cloth in the spine to kind of hold everything together. And so you've got this little fringy part here. And hopefully this is gonna zoom nicely. But I love this little book. So we'll just flip through this real quick so you can see. And it's mostly images, but very cute. Let's see if I can get the pages turned. It's so tiny, guys. My big fat hands are in the way. I love this. So cute. she has lots of different mini books and different themes. And yeah, they're just so fun. And they really are super simple to put together. They're just, yeah, very simple, and they just look so adorable hanging in a tassel, I think. Or if you just like miniature stuff, which I also really love miniature stuff, then you could just collect them and make them and put them on a little tiny bookshelf. All right, look at how cute this is. There are tons of pages in here too. We'll go a little faster, or we'll spend the whole day looking at the mini book. And there's the end. So super cute. Absolutely love that. And then this just goes around here, and I tucked it in between the two strands, and then I tucked it again behind the whole thing. It kind of just holds it in place there. Very cute. So set that aside. All right, let's get into this lovely. So like I said, I used a piece of sari silk here, and I have attached, let's see, so I had it, I'm going to show you, I'll do it back up and show you. So all I did was, let me show you the key first. So I attached this. You could, I mean, it's not tied or anything. You could take this key off if it's too bulky and you don't like it. But I did something pretty cool, and I wanted to show you. I'll show you on the side first. So these were just blank spaces in the key. So they were just silver. So I used my 1/2 inch circle punch and punched out some images. This one's a unicorn from the mini fairy tale book pages. So that one's a unicorn on that side. And then this side is a rose, if you can see that. And I inked them up really good to vintage them up a lot. And then I glued them in and put glossy accents over top. And I think it looks like the key was just made that way. I love it. I love it. And this is a metal key. So I just put that around, you know, the middle of the sari silk. And then I just kind of wrapped it around, and you could do whatever you want. You could tie it up. Like I said, you can take the key off if you don't want it on there. However you want to do that. And then the cover. So this was a book. This was an actual book, not a vintage book. It was a newer book. And I followed Crafty Irina's tutorial for altered books. And she still has them up on her YouTube channel, but they're like a few years old. And I don't think she has new content on her channel. But I watched her, you know, explain how she does hers. And then I also watched a little bit of Gail's videos on her altered book that she did a few months back, just to kind of get it, you know, an idea of what they were in the first place, because I had heard the term, but I didn't really know what they were. So this was a book completely intact, and it was a white cover, which was great because I could do whatever I wanted with it. I covered the spine with some faux suede fabric that I had in this gorgeous gray color. So that covered up the spine, and then I used some crochet trim just on the edge there, on the front and the back. And then the images, let's see, what I did was I took a piece of charcoal gray cardstock, and I used my embossing ink to stamp a script stamp all over it, so you can see that. And then I used rose gold embossing powder over top of the stamping. And it's just this gorgeous metallic rose gold color now, and I just love it. And then these are images. I think these are the cover pages from the fairy tale journal kit that Stephanie has. So this was the front cover that I decided to use. And you'll see throughout, I sewed around every background page with a zigzag stitch, every single one. And then I used this beautiful like butterfly moth it was supposed to be for like jewelry, like a necklace, I'm guessing. So I glued that on with a really good, strong, heavy-duty metal glue. And then these were brads, and there were little holes in the top of the bottom of this charm. So I wanted to cover those up. So I actually cut the legs off the brads and then used that same metal glue and just glued those over the holes. So a little bit of bling to the front. And then this is Stephanie's printable book plate. And this is from her Word kit. And I just used some brads to hold that on there, and also a lot of glue. But, you know, it looks cool. I like metal and using metal as much as I can. And then you've got metal book corners that just sit on the top, but they have a really pretty floral, I think these are Tim Holtz corners, metal pieces. So that's the front, and I love how that looks. And then the back, I did the same thing with the charcoal cardstock. We've got, these are bigger corners on the back because there was less to look at on the back. So I used the bigger ones on the back. And again, I sewed around this. And then your other book corner down here, more of that rose gold embossing. And then this was a fussy cut flower from the kit that I just cut out and glued on there. And then this was an adorable little fairy stamp that I had. And I'm not sure if it's picking it up, but I did use some Wink of Stella glitter brush on the wings. They're clear, so it kind of gives it a little iridescent. It looks better in person. And then silver on the little flower that she's sitting on. But I love that. So that is the back. And then we can look at the yumminess up top and on the side. Love it. There's even yumminess on the bottom. So let's go ahead and open it up. I'm so excited. I mean, it does alligator mouth a bunch, but it stays, you know, I mean, it doesn't like flop open. So I was quite proud of myself for keeping it at least that, you know, that closed. Like it was rough. I had to really limit myself because I could have gone a lot more nuts, and I'll probably use this kit again in the future in just a journal, and it'll be ginormous because I could have really kind of just gone way over the top. But all right, so, oh, I did forget to say, so the book was white, just completely white. So I used Distress ink, and this is in pumice stone. That's predominantly what I used throughout the whole journal, but I did also use some archival watering can in some places. But I really liked how the pumice stone looked because it had like that, yeah, it just was kind of the perfect color, I thought, for this kit. So I put that around the whole book so that it wasn't white anymore. So that's how I did that. All right, so the inside, this is the end papers that were in the book. I loved the light blue color, so I did nothing to them. On the inside cover, I did use an image. This is like a journaling card from the kit, or what I would call a journaling card. And I just layered that on top of a doily and made a little tuck spot for a couple journaling cards, also from the kits. I can't remember, I'm not gonna be able to tell you like which journaling cards and ephemera come from which of the fairy tale kits, but if you look at the kits in her Etsy shop, you'll be able to see the pictures and decide which ones, you know, which ones you like. But I recommend getting them both because they go beautifully together. So, all right, this is the first little page here. So, like I said, I sewed around every background page before I glued it in. And then I left all my threads, but you can cut those if you don't like that. And this was a pocket from one of the kits, and I made that a tuck spot for this journaling card. And all of the ephemera I printed on the back because Stephanie is amazing, and she includes backing papers with all of her kits, at least the kits that I have used so far. So you can just print your gorgeous background, you know, your like essentially tea-dyed or aged paper right onto the back of your images, and it's amazing. So that's what I did for all of the ephemera. So this gorgeous little envelope with these beautiful little doves on it. I love that. And then I put a couple tags inside. and I used, that's the watering can archival ink that I used on my blank hole reinforcers. So, and then there's just some ribbon there, and those fit in here. It's been so long since I've done videos. I feel totally out of sorts and like really nervous today, and it's crazy, but anyway, that's what happens when you don't do this for a while, I guess. All right, and then this page, I used one of this was actually one of the like backing papers, but I just used that by itself. I stamped this beautiful key, and again, I did that with the embossing ink and then used the rose gold embossing powder on it. So it's this beautiful rose gold metallic color, and it's a lovely raised texture. I love that. And then I just put this vellum over the top. And this vellum actually already, it already had the little holes punched in the top. I think it was for like an invitation kit or something, maybe wedding invitations or something of that sort. And so I just punched holes into the cardstock before I glued this down, did a little corner punching at the top, and then ran a ribbon through. And here's another one of those little envelopes from the kit that I turned into a charm. And there's a little bit of lace on the bottom. So you can like flip that up out of the way, flip this up, and you have wonderful journaling space there. And every page, except this first one, and I think every page except the first one is a pocket of some sort. So the first one, this one is a top loading pocket. And so I made this really large journaling card. This is a fussy cut from the kit. And then again, I used the rose gold embossing with that stamp and some corner punching here and some beautiful eyelash trim. This is the most ethereal feeling eyelash trim I have ever felt. I absolutely adore it. It was given to me by a dear friend, and I just, love this stuff. It just feels wonderful, and I'm out of it now. I used all of it in this journal or before this journal, so it's all gone now, but it's amazing. So this is just a lot of journaling space. So that just tucks right into the top of this page. It does, I promise. And then, so there you go. That's the first part. First page is there. And then this is a piece from the kit. And again, I stitched around, and then I just attached this black sheer ribbon. This is the same that I used in the tassel, just to make it pretty. And then you've got some stamping in the corners here and some places to write. And then this is one of the background pages. And what I did for all of the corner pockets, and you'll see edge pockets in a minute, I just cut the background pages in, not half, but however I needed to cut them so I could, use the pocket, but when you look at it, it still kind of looks like the original full page, if that makes sense. So I love this. So you've got some writing, you've got some lines for writing here, and then I used some vintage lace, and I just inked that up with the gray a little bit to kind of just give it an older look. You've got corner punching here at the bottom, and again, more sewing, and then this beautiful tag. I love this. I think this might be my favorite tag in these kits. And with some sheer ribbon at the top, and that just tucks right in there. And then this is the back of the pocket page. So it's just for writing. You've got lots of lines and this beautiful lady here who's admiring this handsome young gentleman over on this side. And this side is a side loading pocket. So in there I have an envelope from the kit with one of the fussy cuts and one of the words. There were words with the fairy tale kit, one of them at least. But I actually ended up using the words from her other journal words kit because I liked the font better. I don't know why. They were both amazing, but I just ended up using these. And you've got a little bit of lace underneath that as well. And then I used, this is a fussy cut. I think this was a fussy cut, or was it from the, it was either a fussy cut or it came from a page of the mini journal, but I don't think no, it was a fussy cut from the kit. And I turned it into a little tuck for the flap. And I don't know if you can see, but the little unicorn horn is gold glitter. It's not really showing up really well, but it is, I promise. And inside are just a couple tags, 3 tags. And I didn't put any string or anything on these because I wanted them to fit nicely in the envelope. But you could always add something if you wanted. And this beautiful background printed on the inside. And then I just added one of the other bead dangles I made in that other video with a garment pin. So that actually, when you slide it in, just hangs out nicely from the bottom of the page so you can see it from the outside. And then this gorgeous, gorgeous background page. Love that. So pretty. And then we have an edge pocket here, or what I'm calling an edge pocket. So again, I just took a background page and cut it down the middle, sewed around both pieces, added a little lace ruffle here to the pocket, added the word wonder at the bottom, and then you've got, all right, let me show you these first. So this is a tag from the kit and a journaling card from the kit. I love this little fairy on her butterfly. And I added this beautiful pink eyelash trim to the tag. So those just tuck in there like so. And then this, I fell in love with this. So I got this frame. It was like a frame, but it was completely blank. The inside was just metal. So it's like all one piece with a metal back, if that makes sense. I'm not sure how to explain it better than that, but it was completely plain. I think it was meant, it was like a craft item, like something you would maybe put a small piece of embroidery in or something like that, I'm guessing, but I loved the shape of it. So I cut out a little flower from the kit and I aged it up really good. And then I glued it in and then put glossy accents over the top. And now it looks like a really old photo. It reminds me of a really old photo that would be hanging in a castle maybe. And then I just added some pink tulle to attach it to the paper before I glued the paper onto the book. And then I used metal glue to secure the frame because I didn't want it like flopping around in here because it's kind of heavy. So that's how I did that. And then you've got this beautiful image back here and some more writing space. And then I did the same thing again with that vellum sheet, but this time I have one of the little tiles that I made like on the tassel, but this is a beautiful unicorn image. I'm gonna lift it up so you can see better. And with a really pretty paper flower. Yeah, I guess it's a paper flower that I just added to it when the glossy accents was wet. So it glued it right down. And then you have journaling space underneath there as well. And then this pretty unicorn, I love her. She's got her roses around her neck, so pretty. And then on this page, I used an envelope that I had that I thought just went with this perfectly because it had this really pretty gold floral pattern in the corners. If you can see that. So I glued up the back of it. You know, it's no longer an envelope, but I just made it into a large tuck spot and used an image from the kit with some fabric behind it here and the word fantasy at the top. And then there's also some lace on the corner. And then I created this tag out of a background page, some more of that trim, like vintagey trim. And I attached a tag with a brad so you could slide that out of the way. You could write, you know, something secret underneath. You could write on the back and then just tuck that back over and no one would even know. And then you've got writing space on the back as well. And so that just tucks in there. Oh, I did put a gold doily on here as well. I was trying to find creative ways to, you know, like cover up the words of the book. So this kind of went perfectly with the gold on the envelope. So I really liked that. So that just tucks in there and kind of sticks out the side. So you have some of that, you know, yumminess coming out the side. And then you have a corner pocket on the back, and that doily just, you know, came over the side. Yeah, so I cut this page, you know, it's the background page again, and I used that lace again, the doily from the other side. And then you have this gorgeous phoenix rising from the ashes. And I just attached a little paper clip with some tulle on it so it doesn't get lost down in the pocket, but it's a nice little journaling card. So that slips in there. And then a mushroom tag. That's from the kit as well. And then that tucks in there. And then I took this little envelope and made it like a little pocket, I guess, for these tiny itty bitty tags. And they come right on the back of those too. And then those just tuck right into the envelope, like so. And then this beautiful mirror, I love that. And then you have a side loading pocket. Did I skip a top loading pocket? I did. I skipped a top loading pocket. Sorry guys. Here's the other one, another one. So I did the same thing. I used this beautiful brad to attach this unicorn, so you could flip that out of the way and right underneath it. And then on the back, I used the brad to hold the lace at the top as well. And this is sheet music from like 1900. So I loved this cello tape that was, you know, on here, the aged, really old looking cellophane tape. So this was the name of this particular song. Whoops. This was the name, the Fairies Waltz, of this particular song. Piano, I think it was piano music. So I just put that kind of to cover up the brad legs. And then I just thought that was kind of pretty. And it even has like some handwriting. Someone wrote some notes on there. And then I used that stamp again, that gorgeous little fairy girl. And so that just tucks in the top of that page. Come on. There we go. All right, so then we're over here to this page, and this is a side pocket. And I used one of the index cards that I purchased from Dee Dee Fargo from her Etsy shop. I love her coffee dyeing. And I just corner punched some edges. I added an eyelet here with some sheer ribbon and another bead dangle, so that sticks out the side. And then I did add, let's see, how did I do that? I added some lace to this page. Okay, so on this page, I have this held down just with a little bulldog clip, a little rose gold bulldog clip. You've got a fussy cut little key lock from the kit and some brads holding that on there. And then this just flips open for writing space. I added lace on the side, stitched that on so that sticks out and looks pretty. And then I just used this mirror here just to add some interest. That's from the kit. And then to cover up those brad legs, I just used this little envelope, and there is a little journaling card inside. And then that just closes up, and you can keep it closed with the bulldog clip. And then this beautiful background page, just some more writing space. And then this is a little edge pocket here. Same thing, and I used that same lace again. Got some more corner punching on this piece. And then these beautiful journaling cards here. And they just fit in there perfectly. And then again, a little envelope. And I just tucked these inside. It's little itty bitty tags. And I forgot to tell you how big this thing is. It is 9 1/4 inches tall and 6 1/4 inches wide when it's closed. And then I believe that there are 38 pages front and back, but then lots of, you know, other places for writing. So I'll make sure I count them for sure and put it in the Etsy listing. So this page, I just glued down a paper bag that I had decorated with one of the fussy cuts, or not fussy cuts, one of the larger like square journaling cards from the kit. And then at the top, I used another one of those little tiles that I made with an image from the mini fairy tale book, and there's some bling on that one, and a little doily at the top as well. And then I added just some sheer ribbon to the bag, and then inside there's so much stuff going on in this journal, guys. Like, so inside the envelope is another piece of tea-dyed paper that I added a key on the side here, and it just opens up for writing. And then I added this beautiful little brad holding this piece of lace as your little pull tab, so you don't lose it in the bag. And then this page is also a top loading pocket. So you've got, oh my goodness, okay. I'm at the wrong angle to try and get this in here. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, and then in the top loading pocket part, it's just a piece of gray cardstock, and I added some of that pearl trim and a little, it's not wanting to turn the way I want it to right now, a little gray satin ribbon bow at the top of that, and then the word magical at the bottom. And I just used like a little scallop punch on the corners, and it's just for, you know, more writing space. And that just tucks in the actual page. So I was saying, this will be in my Etsy shop by the time the video uploads. So you can check the link out below in the description box if you'd like. And then on this page, again, I made a little flip out for writing. I added some lace to the bottom of the page, just because I love little things hanging all over the place in my journals. I used a curly Q paper clip to hold this one closed, but this is just some scrapbooking paper that I had tea dyed, a half of a doily, some pink tulle, and this little butterfly fussy cut from the kit. And then you've got writing space inside, and I sewed down the edge of that. And then this just tucks in like the pocket, oops, and holds that down. There we go. And then on this side, we have this beautiful rose page with some lines for writing. I used some pink vintage lace there, and then you have a tag in the corner pocket. And then we're about to the middle, I think. These beautiful background pages. Just added some lace on this side because this is a side loading pocket, and I'll show that in a minute. I added a bookmark to this journal. I've never done that before, but I just tied it onto the jump ring that the tassel attaches to, and whoops, I used this adorable little necklace charm to hold it, you know, in place. So that just hangs out of the bottom. And then you can, you know, mark your spot. And then in this pocket, I used one of these index dividers. And then this is some more 1900 something music paper. And this was packaging from something. I don't even know what it was, but I thought she was adorable playing her little tiny violin. So I thought that kind of worked. And then another little bead dangle here. And on the back is just some tea-dyed paper for writing on. I liked the green. I thought it kind of went well. So that just tucks in the side. And then on here we have another little flip out. I used some grosgrain ribbon to make a ruffle. I used this really pretty crown. This was in my stash. And it's got some little gold on it. So this just opens up like this and like this. And then you have, I just cut this down to, you know, to be some lined writing space. This is a background page from the kit. And then this is an envelope from the kit. And inside, if I can get it out. Okay, here we go. Are two little journaling cards from the kits. And those just slide in there. And then this all closes up. I used my script stamp on the flap part just to give it a little bit of interest, and then some lace on the bottom. And then here's just a little tall envelope. I stamped this little dove at the bottom because it kind of matched some of the images in the kit. And you have a little lock here at the bottom, a satin ribbon ruffle on the edge, a little key in the middle, and then this opens up and you have a little tag inside, these beautiful roses, and I just put some lace over the top so you could write on that. And then close that up. And come on. There we go. And then in here, so you've got like an edge pocket here. And what I did, I don't know if you can see this very well, this was the cover of some of that sheet music from the early 1900s. And if you look, you can see a little fairy child peeking out from behind the envelope, and then there were some pretty flowers, and I thought that was really pretty, and I liked how that turned out. So inside is another index card that I purchased from Dee Dee, beautiful coffee dye, and then this beautiful dragon journal card from the kit that I attached with a brad, so you can have some secret journaling space there. And then we have these beautiful pages here, and this is a top loading pocket. And I made another tag with one of the background pages and did some corner punching on opposite corners, added a little ribbon to the top so you have some space to journal. And then this page here is just a background page, and I added some doily over here on the side, and I added this fussy cut tree from the kit. And then we have another one of those large journaling cards like we had in the beginning. And this one I added, I added a crown to the first one too. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they were fussy cut crowns. So this is the male version of the crown, I thought anyway. And then I had this adorable little brad with a red stone inside. So I used that to hold the key there, but you can move that out of the way and you can journal down here if you want. But I like how that turned out as well. And then here we have a corner pocket. Again, I love these pages. Just the color of this butterfly just makes me so happy. But I just added some lace ruffle there, and then you've got journaling cards inside. This was some gold trim that my friend Lisa gave me in Happy Mail. Thank you, Lisa. So those just go in there. And then this is a side pocket. And it has another coffee dyed index card with a little bell. It's like a glass bell, so you would put it over top of something. And then again, I just used one of these paper clips with some tulle on it so that you don't lose the card in the pocket. Because some of them, you know, they're a little deep. Anyway, we have another little flip here. And on this bulldog clip, I added this little book charm that says Once Upon a Time. And this just flips open, has some pink lace on the edge here. And then you've got another envelope with a couple little tags, again, inside. And this was scrapbook paper that I had tea dyed. And then that just clips on to hold that kind of shut. Keeps it from flopping open. And then I have a bag here with a fussy cut flower from the kit. And inside, oh, that's what I did. I forgot what I did. I added lace to the top, and then the cards inside are actually attached to this sheer ribbon because the bag was so deep and I wasn't sure how else to do it. So I just attached them to the ribbon, and then I used this pretty brad to attach the ribbon to the bag. And so that way you can always retrieve your little cards, or tags in this case. All right, so we have a really pretty lock page and a key page here. And I just used some of that sheer ribbon and made a ruffle. And then you've got journaling card and a couple tags that just slide right in there. And then this page is a top loader as well. And we have another background page from the kit that I turned into a long skinny tag with some corner punching. And then I added a bead dangle to the top so you can find it in the pocket. So it just slides in there, and then the bead dangle kind of hangs out the top. And then we have the mermaid page and some writing on this side. I love this page. And then you've got inside here, we have a tag and another tag, really pretty. And then an envelope from the kit. And inside are 2 journaling cards, a key and a lock. So those just slide in there. And then tucks in like so, and I use some more vintage trim on that. And then we're almost to the end. All right, so we've got another one of these vellum flips here, and another envelope that I turned into a charm. Added some bling and a little sequins to that, and some black lace this time, and that black sheer ribbon. So you can just flip that up and flip up the vellum, and then you have some writing space underneath. And then this page, I used one of the envelopes again as a tuck spot for the tiny tags. And this, oh, well, this is a side-loading pocket that I forgot to put something in. So I will do that. Apparently I thought that I had glued that together, but I didn't. So I need to add something there. But anyway, that's the end, guys. And then you've just got the blank blue on the back. So I hope you like that. I know that was a really long flip through, but there was a lot to show you. And yeah, thank you, Stephanie, so much for the opportunity to work with your beautiful designs. It was such a pleasure. I have had so much fun doing both of the projects that I did for you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, guys, if you want to check it out, it'll be in my Etsy shop. And I'm still on new puppy duty, but I will try to, get a video in here and there whenever I can. And let you know what's going on. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.